My favourite part about every Toy Story movie is how on Rotten Tomatoes there's waves and waves of completely fresh pages, and then there's Almond White. Hello there, my name is the Unnamed Movie Review Critic. I'm just going to stick with that at this point. And today we're reviewing Toy Story 4. I was as skeptical as anyone when they announced, oh, we're making a fourth Toy Story when the third one ended so brilliantly. So when I went to go see it today, I was definitely a little bit apprehensive. I was really happy that it had 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. And then I walked into the cinema, and don't worry, I'm not going to make you wait on how I thought about it. It was amazing. It was incredible. Only two movies have ever made me cry. Avengers Endgame and this movie. Toy Story 3 didn't make me cry. This movie had me in tears. It was so good. But because we have to stick with the way that we always do it on this channel, we are going to be starting with the bad parts of the movie, moving on to the mix, and finally ending with the good. So, before I start, leave your thoughts on how the movie was in the comments down below. Are you an Almond White? Are you the other 99% of the planet? I'm just joking around. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I can totally understand if someone didn't like this movie. But let's just jump right into it. So, I think that the main flaw of this movie was the characters. Not to say that any of the characters were bad, they were all really good, but there were too many of them. You see, there were so many characters in the movie that they had the main characters who had their character arcs and were played really, really well, but then all the other characters were just thrown aside almost and only had 2 or 3 lines, and these are characters who we love and we've known for a long time, and we want to see them have great moments, but they were just thrown off and didn't seem to be important to the plot that much. It's what I like to call the Ice Age 5 conundrum. Moving on, that was the literally only bad thing in the movie. To the mixed! Okay, moving on to the mixed. I know I've said this for the mixed a lot recently, and I should be a lot better at articulating my thoughts instead of just rinsing and repeating the same thing over and over again. But I feel like these words are the best ways I can describe it, so I know I need to find better ways to describe movies and look more in depth at certain things, because it's kind of a complicated topic to cover in this mixed segment today, so I'm really, really sorry about this. So the mixed segments of this movie, well, at least the main mixed segment of the movie was nothing. There wasn't really any part of it I found that was really mixed. So anyway, moving on to the good. And finally, we get on to the good. And there were so many good things about this movie. The one that instantly stood out to me was the cinematography and animation. So, the first Toy Story was the first computer-generated movie ever made. So it was really, really high-tech for its time. So when this one came out, it looked like the evolution of computer-generated animation. And the animation in this was so incredible, just the way the light reflects off different things, so you can tell what a thing is made out of. Bo Peep is made out of porcelain, so the way the light shines off her reflects how she's made out of porcelain, but Woody's made out of rubber, so you can see the light is different on each of them. So that just tiny amount of detail is so incredible, and it just makes me love this movie even more. There was also the characters. Now, while some of the characters felt kind of backlogged, all the characters that had that was given time in the spotlight used it. There were so many great character moments that really felt like interesting, well thought out character arcs that would make sense for these characters. Woody had a great character arc, Buzz had a great character arc, and all these other characters had great character arcs. And even characters that weren't there for character arcs were more there for comic relief, like Key and Peele as Bunny and Rabbit, who were hilarious. There's one scene about halfway through the movie that it's basically just them monologuing, and I was laughing so hard I fell out of my seat at the cinema. I have never done that before. And Keanu Reeves as Duke Kaboom was also hilarious and had so many great moments. I absolutely loved all the new characters in this movie, and I thought they were all really, really well thought out. But finally, the most important thing for any Toy Story movie is the emotions, and the emotions in this movie. They had some of the lightest, the funniest moments in any Pixar movie ever, but they also had some of the richest emotions ever. There's only two movies that have made me cry, Avengers Endgame and this movie. And there was a scene in this movie where I just lost it. I was sobbing. And it wasn't like Toy Story 3 was really sad and super dramatic. It was this tiny scene in a dark alleyway. And it was so beautifully done. And so beautifully made. And every inch of it. Because these characters had this character arc leading through the movie that you can tell this is where they were meant to end up. But when they end up, it's so satisfying because they're actually interesting characters who you care about, and these moments just make you feel so warm and happy inside. This was one of the best cinema experiences I've ever had, just because of the ways I felt about this movie and the emotions that this movie managed to pull out of me. If I had to give one movie best animated picture, or just best picture, that I've seen this year, it would probably be Toy Story 4. If this keeps in like the same area of my mind that it is in right now, I think it might have been better than Avengers Endgame, or Alita Battle Angel, or A Dog's Way Home, or Unicorn Store. All these movies that I loved this year, they were not at the same emotional richness as this. The reason I don't think Avengers Endgame was at the emotional richness is they had 22 movies setting up that. We had 4 for this, and I was crying pretty much just as much in this movie as Avengers Endgame, making it such calm but beautiful moment that I loved so much. And just these small character parts, these small musical hints in. There were so many things that I loved about this movie so much. So I have to say that this movie was incredible. And I kind of hope there's a Toy Story 5. Toy Story 3 ended really well. This movie ended better. And I think they could make a Toy Story 5. I mean, if you hire Rashida Jones, who was one of the writers for the movie, she can write really well. If this is anything to go by. I've never seen anything else she's written, but the main reason I'm naming her specifically is because I love Parks and Rec. And this was incredible. I love this movie so much. So, the last movie reviewed on this channel was Homecoming by Beyonce, and I think this might have been better than that. I loved this movie so much, and I want to see it again. I really just want to see it. I might go see it tomorrow. It was so good. This is a movie that I recommend to everyone. So anyway, that's going to be it. That's going to be my review for Toy Story 4. Sorry that I kind of went on a little bit there with the rambling about emotions and stuff. But I hope you all have a fantastic day. I will see you all in the next video, and ODF out. Goodbye.